Jake Harris, aka TremorDeth, bringing you another retro review for Examiner.com and ZeldaDeth Gaming. This retro review is going to be somewhat Halloween oriented because I'm doing Legacy of Kain's Soul Reaver on Sega Dreamcast. For those of you who aren't familiar with this game, it's an action adventure where you take the role of an ex-vampire, Raziel, as he searches for vengeance against his former master who betrayed him.
This is Raziel's master, Kain. He was the star of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain, and this is Raziel, the main character that you play as. The vampires tend to evolve new traits after Kain does normally, and Raziel has grown wings, and Kain is not happy with that. So for surpassing him, his reward is to be thrown into a whirlpool of water, and the water disintegrates vampires, or burns them. And after being disintegrated and turned into a more zombie-esque vampire, Raziel is kept sort of alive by some voice called the Elder, who has governance over souls and whatnot. Long story short, you gotta go smack some heads together with Raziel's new soul-eating powers, rather than blood consumption. So Raziel finds himself in the world of the dead, where he can walk through gates to get to various locations. Once you got to a location, you can walk through the gate and get back if you happen to die both in the living world and become too weak in the spirit world. Throughout the progression of the game, you go against your brothers, who were seen earlier in the game, but all of them have mutated into more horrid versions of themselves, and every time you kill one, you get new powers. Things from phasing through small objects or grates, to climbing walls, to getting the soul-reaving sword, so on and so forth, until you fight Kain and avenge your death. Raziel also has the ability to go back and forth between the spiritual world and normal world. If he dies, he goes into the spiritual world, and if he becomes too weak in the spiritual world, he goes back to the home base of the Elder. You can also go into the spiritual world manually if you want to, and then use small portals in order to pass over back into the normal world. The game involves a lot of figuring out how to kill your enemies. Humans you can beat down and they die, but it's better just to leave most humans alone. The vampires you can beat into a daze, and then you have to either impale them, burn them, or throw them in the water to be disintegrated, among other methods that come along later. The game also involves a lot of puzzle solving, a lot of box pushing around. Think Tomb Raider. The only unfortunate thing is that the puzzles are very punishing at times. If you screw up once, you'll have to start at the beginning of the puzzle again. You'll have to push a box around in the physical world, turn the spiritual world so the environment morphs around so you can jump up higher. And after doing 3 or 4 stages of this and you fall, you happen to have to start over again, which is kind of irritating.
So anyway, that's the ins and outs of the game. In conclusion, I think that, oh my, one second, I spilled this drink. I'm gonna wash my hand off and then, oh my god. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to wash that controller off now. I hate sticky controllers. Where's the towel at? What's going on here? Why is everything blue? Oh, I think I electrocuted myself, which means that I am dead. Okay, don't don't panic. Wait, if everything's blue, then I just gotta find one of those little swirly things, and then everything will be fine, and, oh god. Oh no, wraiths. Swirly thing, swirly thing, swirly thing on the ground. There! Okay, if I remember correctly, okay, here they come, here they come. That, and then, that's getting better. Okay, and, I think I'm alive. Can you see me? Yeah, you can. Yeah, he can. Okay, so... So, now when Soul Reaver came out back in 2000, it had already been on PlayStation before it came on Dreamcast. I had a PlayStation, but I never played it, so when it came out on Dreamcast, I bought it. And shortly thereafter, Soul Reaver 2 was announced. And I was ecstatic about this. But as it was 98% done, Dreamcast announced in 2001 it was no longer going to make hardware or software for its hardware. And Soul Reaver 2 was scrapped for Dreamcast, much to my disappointment. And I never got a PS2. I had a Xbox. And I never got around to playing Defiant. So this is the only game in the Legacy of Kain series that I've played. I recommend it. I really enjoy it, though. I think sometimes the puzzles are a little more punishing than they should be. If you miss one part of a puzzle, sometimes you'll have to start all the way back at the beginning. Going into the spectral realm, back to the physical realm, letting the environment change around you. It can get frustrating. This is not necessarily an easy game. But I did enjoy it quite a bit when I played it back in 2000, and I replayed through a good chunk of it for this review, and I recommend it. I give it an 8.0 out of 10. There's some camera issues which I chalk up to there not being a second control stick on the Dreamcast, and you have to use both triggers to center your camera and look around in first person view, and that's the only way you can adjust the camera. I don't necessarily enjoy doing that all the time. That's partially why I'm giving it an 8.0 instead of, say, a 9.0. Also, I feel like the puzzles are a little too punishing sometimes just due to the control issues, which wouldn't stand for a game today. Some people would probably give this game like a 6.0 out of 10 today, but I still find it very, very enjoyable. So, 8.0 out of 10, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver for the Dreamcast. And go play it on whatever platform you feel necessary.